Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the latest edition of my YouTube channel about all things writing. And today I'm like super excited because we're going to be talking about one of the most sacred relationships in writing, which is that between an author and his or her editor. And I'm super excited to have my editor, Ava Coibion, with us today to tell us all the inside scoop about what it's like to be an editor and writing instructor. Ava, welcome. It's so great to see you.
Thank you so much. It's great to see you today, and I'm excited about revealing all the secrets.
Awesome. So before we jump into it, tell us a little bit about yourself, your role as a writing instructor and as an editor, and what inspired you to go down this path at the beginning.
That's a really great question. I've kind of been doing this all of my life in a way because I started out teaching fiction, which I did. The last time I taught was at William and Mary. I was there for 5 years, and I was such a lucky professor there because I got to hand pick my students out of 150 portfolios I
Oh,
would get in the
wow.
summer. I would narrow the workshop down to about 15 individuals. They were already the cream of the crop. So I was working with people. Very often I would choose a couple adult authors that weren't enrolled as, standard four-year students. So what I really loved, and I loved more and more as I taught, was not so much being in the classroom. I had great reviews. The students thought I had it all together, but it was actually very stressful for me to be in a large room with all those people staring at me and just having to coordinate. And I'm not really a leader. I'm not a follower, but I'm not a leader. And so I would go home every day exhausted, but I loved it in a way. So I moved to Austin after that position there, and I was going to continue teaching. And I had a lot of personal stress and very traumatic things happen in my life at that point. And I said, this is my chance to really do what I love about what I was doing. And that was the one-on-one part. That was meeting with students in office hours. That was doing independent studies. That was teaching them kind of a formula I developed, which I can talk about later if you're interested, called the 10 C's. If you have these 10 C's in your manuscript, you are golden. And so I developed this great, I didn't want to give that up. And I loved the one-on-one. So it came to me one day. I was like, why don't you edit? It's the same exact thing that you've been doing your whole life, but it's with one individual, one-on-one. And I've been in love with it ever since. And it's been a remarkable experience, and it has offered so many gifts. And just, I never knew how rewarding it would be and how special those relationships would be, including with you, Monica.
Oh, so nice of you to say. It is a special thing. So, over the years since you embarked on your editing career, then, how many books do you think you've touched?
Definitely, I would say close to 200 probably. And the majority of those were full, where I was with the author the whole time, from front to back. Um,
Yeah.
and lots of when I first started editing, it wasn't easy. I had to develop a client base. I kind of would edit anything that came my way, whether it was a legal letter or an academic piece, someone getting, writing their dissertation. And then I started narrowing it down to my interests, science, history, memoir, fiction mainly. Discovered I had a huge love of YA, which I never edited before. And it was kind of a lovely break from editing grown up stuff. So it was really kind of a process. And gradually I ended up, where I really wanted to be with fiction.
Gotcha.